Okay, we'll start class. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. My audio is clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Audio
Clear.
and PPT is visible.
It's audible, sir.
Yeah.
Visible, sir.
Okay. So in the last class, we discussed about the meaning of research and the types of research. Then also we also discussed about the scopes involved in the business research. So I want to just recap what we discussed in the last class. So we discussed about the meaning of research. Research means a systematic process where we collect data and information for the purpose of uh, to get a solution for the problem or to gain more knowledge. So that is called research. And we also discussed about the features or the characteristics of the research. So when we break down the definition of the research, we get the characteristics of the research. So for example, the first feature of the research is an organized process. So why it is organized? Because before starting research, we have a complete plan how we should conduct research, or we have a complete structure, or we have complete data from whom we have to collect data or how we have to collect the data. So therefore, it is called an organized process, and it is also called as a systematic. Why it is called systematic? Because we have to go through all the process of research. We have to follow the steps which are involved in the research. Therefore, it is called as a systematic, and it is also used to find the answer, and it is also used to get the solution. That is also one of the characteristics. And in research, there is a problem, or we call it as a research questions. So it involves research questions. So these all are the characteristics of the research. And see why it is called systematic and why it is called organized, and what is the purpose of conducting research. There are two main purposes of conducting research. One is to finding the answer, and another one is to give solution for the problem and research question. And there are two types of research on the basis of seriousness. That is, one is formal research, other one is informal research. Formal research is conducted in universities or government bodies, because there we have a responsibility to present the report some authorities. But in informal research, we conduct in day-to-day life, where we are not responsible, or we are not what uh, answerable to some authorities. Informal research we conduct for our daily purpose. And next, we discussed why we should conduct research. What is the purpose, or what is the need to conduct research? See, hello, yes, tell me. Is there any problem?
No, sir. No.
No, right? Yeah.
No,
Then,
sir.
okay. See, what is the purpose of conducting research? They conducting research help to get better informed, or to less biased decisions, or see, research it does not mean you are guessing, or the hunches or intuition or guessing or hunches does not consider as a research. Research should be, you should have a scientific evidence, you should have proof. So in intuition or in hunches, we do not have a proof, so it cannot be considered as research. So when there is a proof or when there is evidence, we can consider as a research. And see, the basic purpose, or what is the need for the research? The first, there are four basic purpose. That is, first one, to explore the new things, or to explore the unfamiliar things. And next one is to describe the nature of the problem or the nature of the the things or the nature of the events. So, and next, third objective is to uh, diagnose the two situation or two events. And the fourth purpose or the fourth need is to establish cause and effect or the relationship between the two variables. So that is the four important purpose of the conducting research. And then we discussed in the last class about what do you mean by the business research. Business research is nothing but a research conducted for the business purpose. There are many purposes which involved in the business. So if there is any problem in the business, or if there is any what if there is any need for the gaining the knowledge, then we conduct research. So any research which comes under the area of a business, it's called business research. So the output or the findings of the business research can be used for the decision making of the companies. So that is called business research. And then we also discussed what is the need for conducting business research, why companies or why firms conduct research. So there are five basic needs which tells us why company conducting business research. The first need is to estimate the expense, what are the costs involved in the particular year or in the future year. So for the purpose of estimating or for the purpose of predicting what may be the expense, we need research. And next one is the price determination. Price determination means we have to decide, the company has to fix the price for particular product. So how to fix price, or what is the level, maximum level, MRP, we call it as MRP. What is the maximum retail price a company can fix to their product? So we have to decide. Uh, uh, a company has to fix the price which should not be the too low or which should not be the too high. If it is fixed too low, it cuts its profit. If it fixed too high, so there is no demand for their product. So it has to fix at a break-even point. So what is the break-even point, or what is the break-even price for their product? They have to decide. So for that purpose, we can use research, and then to take a decision. So by using all the findings which is developed by business research, we can use for informed decision making. And the next purpose is evaluating marketing trend. What is the situation uh, in market? What is the trend? Whether it is downtrend or it is upward trend. So we can take the example. See, this pandemic period, there is a downward trend for the demand for the any product, any product. So therefore, a company has to analyze what is the trend for their product in market. And competitive advantage. Competitive advantage means every company has to see who are their competitors and what is the competition are involved in the market. Whether there is competition in the price, whether there is competition in the design, whether there is competition in the nature of the product. They have to understand before introducing or before developing the product. So these are the need for the business research. And we discussed, next thing we discussed the scope for the business research. Scope for the business research means where we can apply the output of the business research, in which area the business research output can be applicable. See, first applicable area is production management. Production management means if a company wants to decide what is the size of the production, what is the capacity of the, what should be the capacity of the production. It cannot produce any number of the items. It has to decide what is the a number of units should produce per day, per batch, and per year. So that is called production management. They have to decide what is the number of units they have to produce in day and in week or in year. So for that purpose, if any company conduct research, so that is called as a production management research. And the output of the business research can be used for personal management. Personal management means redesigning the job description or redesigning the company structure. In the last class, I also explained one example that if there are centralized structure of what centralized structure of management, so now company wants a decentralized. So whether it is suitable for company if company decentralize its company structure. So they have to know. So for that purpose, if company conduct research, so that comes under personal management. And marketing management, if company wants to introduce new product or develop a product or change or segment, then it is called marketing management. Then financial management, under financial management, how companies should raise the funds or the allocation of the funds or what is the salary has to given. So all the financial matters. For all the financial matter, if company conduct any research, so that comes under financial management. Then next is material management. Under material management, it comes the raw material used, where you have to, where company has to collect materials, or what is the quantity, what is the maximum level, or what is the safety level, or what is the dangerous level of the quantity should keep in storehouse. So all these aspects which comes under material management. And general management, other than all these aspects, so any other aspect which is relevant to the company's performance, so all those aspects comes under general management. And next we discussed the types of business research. The business research is classified based on application, based on the objectives of the research, and based on extract of theory, and based on time. Business research is classified based on application. There are two types. One is pure research, other one is applied research. Pure research or basic research or fundamental research means the research, that the output of research we cannot apply, or there is no practical relevance for the output of the basic research. It developed only for the theory. I gave one example for basic research or pure research. You take example of diminishing marginal utility theory. Diminishing marginal utility theory explains is when a person consumes 1 unit of product, the satisfaction level get decreased from each unit. So that is explained under diminishing marginal utility theory. So that theory only has uh, a conceptual application. There is no practical application. We cannot apply into our day-to-day life. But in applied research means the output or the findings we can apply. We can apply into the business problem. Take example, there is high labor turnover in company. So we conduct research. So we find solution. That solution we can apply to the company. So there is a practical relevance for the output of the applied research. So that is the two research comes under on the basis of application. And next one is based on the objective of the research. Based on the objective of the research, there are three types. One is exploratory research, other one is descriptive research, and casual relationship research. So exploratory research based on objective. Exploratory research means there is no specific objective. We don't know what is the main objective of our research. We are conducting in general way. We conduct research in general way without any specific objectives. After conducting first step of research, we get to know what is the specific problem. In exploratory research, first we conduct a small research. then only we get to know what is the main problem. You can take the examples. So there is a decrease in the production. There is a decrease in the production of a company. A company don't know what is the exact problem for the decreasing in the production of the company. So it can do exploratory research. Exploratory research means it can conduct research in the field of human resource, or it can conduct research in the field of finance, and then it can conduct in the field of material. It can see where exactly the problem, whether it is in the department of finance, or it is in the department of human resource, or it is in the department of the material management or material department. So then if it is get to know, yeah, the problem in the department of human resource, then what is the problem? Then it can conduct another fresh research by taking that specific problem. And next type is descriptive research. In descriptive research, the researcher know exact the problem. What is the exact problem? There is a clear-cut objective for descriptive study or descriptive research. He conduct or he answer the questions for the what is the problem or what is the nature of the problem and where it happens and how it happens. He answer the questions for what, where, and when it happens. All these questions he answered under descriptive research. And then casual relationship research. The main purpose of casual relationship research is to explain the cause and effect, or to explain the relationship between the variables. Cause and effect means what is the cause for? He knows there is whether price of the product has impact on the demand of the product. So here cause is the price and the effect is the demand. So to know whether there is cause and impact or effect, cause and effect or impact. And before finding out the impact of the product, they have to check whether there is a relationship between the two variables. So all these aspects which comes under casual relationship research. And next, classification is based on the extract of theory. On the basis of extract of theory, there are two types. One is theoretical research, other one is empirical research. These both the type of research, that is theoretical and empirical, the main purpose is to develop or to extract the theory. Both the of both the research has objective of extracting the theory. The only difference between theoretical and empirical research is in theoretical research we develop theory by using secondary data only. In theoretical research we develop theory or we extract theory by using secondary data only. But in empirical research we develop theory by conducting field survey, or we collect both primary data and secondary data. We develop theory by using both primary data and secondary data. The only difference between theoretical and empirical, here in theoretical we use only secondary data, but in empirical we use both secondary data and primary data. And next classification is based on the time. What is the expiry period for the output of the or the result of the those studies? If the result of the study or output of the study can be used for long period, then it is called longitudinal research. If the output or the result can be used for only for a section, one particular section, or it can be used only for a season, only for one season, or for a short period, then it is called cross-sectional research. So for cross-sectional research, I explained the demand of a particular product in rainy season. What is the demand? So we can apply the result of such research only for rainy period or rainy season. So such research is called cross-sectional research. And we also discussed in the last class the meaning of theory building. What do you mean by theory building? Theory building is the process of building a statement or a statement of concepts and their interrelationship that shows how and why phenomena occurs. So first we have to conduct research, then we develop or we convert into that research into theory. So that process is called theory building. So today we'll discuss what are the steps or the research process, the steps involved in conducting or carry out research. See, so there are various steps involved in carrying out research. The first steps involved in research is defining the problem, defining the research question. And the second steps involved is review of literature. And third is developing hypothesis or formulating hypothesis or say the research objectives. Then you have to develop research design. Then after that, to collect data. After collecting data, you have to analyze. You have to analyze the data. You have to analyze the data. After analyzing the data, next go for interpretation and report writing. You have to give interpretation and report writing. So the research process is a series of actions, or it includes iterative process. Iterative means continuous process. It does not end. So once you define the problem, then you have to go review of literature, then formulate hypothesis, design, then collect data, analyze, interpret. After interpretation, if there is any problem, again you find some problems in the findings, then again you have to go for defining the problem. See, there is FF means feed forward and F means feed back. So there is an, see here in analyzing the data, if there is any problem in analysis, then you have to go for interpretation. If there is any problem, you can go back again. You go back for analyzing the data. If analysis is not enough for interpretation, then you have to go back again for analyzing the data. Here, if there is a difficulties in analyzing data, you have to go back to research design. You have to reframe the design. Here also in the defining, once you define the problems, you got the answer. Again in answer you find any problem, then you have to again redefine it. So that is called, it is a iterative process or it is continuous process. So in research, see, there are 7 major steps. In some textbooks there are more than 7, but we can identify 7 major steps involved in the research. So this is a very important aspect in theoretical background. So this may ask for 50 marks. What do you mean by research? Explain the steps involved in the research or explain the research process. So this is very important concept. I identified there are 7 steps involved in the research process. The first one is defining define the problem. Defining the problem means identifying the problems involved in the event or in the company or in the person. So as I said in the last class, if there is no question or if there is no problem, so there is no scope for research. Of course, there is definitely there is a problem in every company or every individual or every event. The first thing we have to identify the topic for the research, or we may say the research problem, or identify the questions. So there is identifying how we should identify or how to identify the research problem. What are the techniques for identifying the topic? The first technique, you have to see, you have to observe the things. As I, in the last, you can see that observe the things, or you can uh, uh, evaluate the previous data or evaluate the previous articles. So from those articles we can identify the problem. For example, we face in company there is one problem like employees are not motivated. Employee the productivity of the employees is very low. Productivity of the employee is very low. So what is the main reason? So the problem is they are not much productive. That is the problem. So here researcher has to identify what is the reason for the low productivity of the employees. So that is the way of identifying. Or the other way is observing, the observation method. See, observation method means uh, we cannot, for all the problems, we cannot collect it from the previous data or already published sources. So there are some events we have to observe. We have to observe the things and we get to know the problems involved. For example, the teacher can observe the student if he has distracted in class. So by observing some of the events or some of the things, we can identify the problems. So all this way, we can understand the problem. And here, the best way to understanding the problem is to discuss it with one's own who are expert or the colleagues or the friends. Sometimes what happens, some people are expert in those fields. So we can get the opinions from such people. We can get the information or we can get the opinion, advice from such people, and we can identify the problem. The other way is, or for our internship or for project, how we can identify the problems. First thing, you have to identify what is the interest research area. What is the area of interest? First, you have to identify the area of interest. Area of interest means it is in the broad way. You have to identify the area of interest. Like my area of interest is finance. Your area of interest is HR. So first, identify in which area I should conduct research. So that is called area of interest. After identifying, so for example, I identified my area of interest is finance. Next, I have to what branch down, or I have to find out under area of interest, what is the area of scope for the research, in which area there is a scope to conduct research, or in which area there is high problem. So like uh, in finance, I can again divide it into take for example three. One is behavioral finance, in the area of behavioral finance, and in the area of investment, in the area of company, in the area of company. So I can divide it into the first broad term is finance, and next three broad I can classify it into behavioral, and next investment and company. So I found that in behavioral finance there are over research. There are over research. Already research is done. Many research is conducted under behavioral finance, and under company also. In company field also there is many research conducted. I find that from the review or some previous study, I found that there are many research conducted under company field. But I found that there is under research in the field of investment. So that is called under research area. So there is a scope for conducting research in the field of investment. So I can carry out research in the field of investment. After selecting a subsection in the finance, finance is a broad section, and after that, investment is a subsection. In investment, I have to specify the problem. I have to specify what exactly the problem. So I want to know the savings, and I want to know savings and investment pattern of college teacher, or I want to know savings and investment pattern of rural people in Mangalore. So you have to define, or you have to give a specific topic for research. You have to give specific, or you have to define what it means, what is the exact problems for your research. So that is called defining the research problem. And next step is, after defining or after selecting the topic, then you have to go for extensive literature survey, or we call it as literature review. Review means you have to critically evaluate what research is conducted so far, and what area they covered so far, or what the aspect, or what are the variables they covered already explained. So that is the extensive literature review. The extensive literature review, in the literature review, you have to give summary of the research conducted by the some people. If, for example, my topic is savings and investment pattern of college teacher, so there are many research already conducted. So I collected those research. I have to give summary, what they covered so far, and what the methods they used for analyzing those data. So that I have to explain under literature review, or reviewing the literature. So I can show one of the example for literature review. Let's see. See, the timing of Zoom is over. Can you rejoin again? Can you rejoin?
Yeah, sir, sure.
Can you rejoin again?
Yeah, we can, sir.
Okay, I'll end up here. Okay.
We will join, sir. Okay, sir.